We're live now.
What's up, everybody? We're back with the RZSL game of the week. We are currently in week 4 now. We had missed the last 2 weeks due to some scheduling issues, but we come back with a good game between the Cardinals and the Rams, which is obviously an interdivisional game. Um, what do you expect to see out of this game, Nug?
I'm looking for honestly just a well fought battle. I mean, Cardinals are coming off on a very unfortunate loss. Definitely they could have taken home the win, but things just didn't pan out well. But seeing as they went against Thunder, I mean, it was bound to happen. I actually haven't been keeping too much in tune with the Rams, to be honest.
Yeah, the Rams have started off kind of slow. They took a old-fashioned loss in week 1 to the Bears. I don't know the exact score, but when I had checked, it was around 38-0. So that's not a way you want to start. They're now 1-2 coming into this game. I think both teams are both 1-2. Yeah. Speaking so last week, obviously, we had the forced loss to the Rams, for the Cardinals, sorry, which was actually a game we were looking to cast, but it just did not work out, and unfortunately, the Cardinals had to take a forced loss due to their scheduling issues.
Yep.
Um, but here we are. We're getting him on. He's a new user, a guy we haven't really seen too much of, but we decided to get him onto the game of the week cast. Maybe see what he's about going up against one of our OG users. I would say Wiz has been around for quite some time, so we'll see how he fares against him. And with that being said, we're off. Kick
Yeah.
off. Sets him at the 25-yard line. Cardinals start with the ball at the first and 10.
I'm trying to notify Cardinals of turning his commentary off and gameplay volume up because it's kind of hard to hear much of anything. But yeah, no, this is honestly a great matchup. I'm looking for some kind of air raid to make me smile. Hopefully, these quarterbacks show me something very special.
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe the Cardinals only played one game, and that was a win versus the Vikings. A controversial win. The Viking user was not very happy after the game, but
oh,
um, yeah. So we'll get to see sort of why that was. But with that being said, we're looking to get this audio thing situated.
I think once he loads into the game, he's completely dialed in, just like neglects the phone. As we're gonna see
Yeah,
them in a pistol formation. Going into nickel 3-4. Rams D line is very strong. He fakes the handoff. Kyler Murray throws an interception. And
and we
honestly,
saw a switch as well.
I thought he was open. I I thought he was open.
I mean, was that Jalen Ramsey or was that somebody
No,
else?
it was last
That was
name
somebody
Hill,
else.
number 23.
Okay, I believe Troy Hill.
Troy Hill.
Uh, wow, I don't know. He played that pretty well for that was on D Hop, right? So I'm surprised we don't see Ramsey manned up on D Hop early in this game. But obviously, when you have your
Yeah,
second guy making plays like that, I mean, you can't ask
definitely
for much
don't need
more.
it. That is ridiculous. I mean, the pass was perfectly timed, in my opinion. I mean, there really wasn't an issue there. It's just the play from the defensive back was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I believe so. This Rams defense has seen quite some changes in the offseason. They brought in Von Miller midway through the season to help bolster that pass rush, which already was one of the best in the league with Aaron Donald right down the middle. But unfortunately, coming into this season, they won't be uh, with Von Miller as he is now with the Bills, signing a huge contract at the age of, I believe, 32. I want to say. So I mean, anytime a guy gets his bag, you love to see that. But I don't know if that was quite what I would have given him.
No, definitely. As we're trying to notify this Cardinals user of actually turning their master volume up, it's quite literally at one. I mean, what's the point of having it on at that point? We just want to hear something. I don't want to dial him out of the game as he's obviously kind of pissed after throwing that interception. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Maybe that was the issue. You know, maybe he had his headphones unplugged. He didn't hear the coach's call quite well. That the coach noticed the DB was going to be planned to come back, and
Yeah, he was ready for that one.
yeah,
Kind
no,
of ran the route for
the
him.
defense was absolutely ready, especially with it being the first drive. I mean, that kind of situational awareness is just outstanding from the defensive back.
Yeah, and I mean these Ram defensive backs are kind of those very aggressive ball hawk type of guys
Yep.
who they may give up a big play because they're playing so aggressive, but there's those times where they make the big play and get the interception, and there it paid off quite well, giving them really good field position.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I was just trying to mix up the audio output just to make sure we're all good. All right, we're looking perfect. Matthew Stafford in the gun is going to hand it off to Cam Akers, who goes with a blitz on 2nd and 11. A man blitz on 2nd and 11. I don't see that too often.
Yeah, I mean it paid off. I would say 2 back-to-back runs from the Rams, and only combining for a total of a yard. I mean, now you put Stafford in a tough situation. It's not too tough because obviously you're in field goal range, but anytime you're in 3rd and long, or as it doesn't even matter, he hits Cam Akers for the first down. So yeah, anytime you put your quarterback in a 3rd and long situation, it's not good. But Stafford's one of the top quarterbacks, so
of course. I feel like a bad habit for a lot of coaches, defensive coordinators in specific. When it's the 3rd and long, I feel like they play the sticks too hard for their hook curls.
Yeah.
You know, they're giving too much space underneath, and that just turns into a rack or just a completion for a first down. I see fakes the handoff to Cam Akers. He has a man. He does it. Oh, he switched again, but I think his user just sucks. Cooper Kupp for the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would even been caught had he not switched.
I think it would have. I think it would have. I don't know.
It is Cooper Kupp, obviously. You know, one of the top receivers in the game, but
like the DB had cut the ball off, and then he got absolutely possessed by our man.
They're really sending a lot of heat as well.
Yeah. Maybe he comes from a Mutt background, knows the blitzes, you know.
Yeah, we might be getting some pressure in there pretty soon.
Yeah. Hopefully, we get to see some kind of offense, not a Mutt offense, because we're very sim over here. But maybe they get past, you know, they're 25, they're 30. We're gonna see.
This could be a man look. And
timeout.
Yeah, the defense just looked to be all out of sorts. They made a shift, and then they still didn't like the look. Coach probably was just not agreeing with what was going on in the field.
They hand the ball off to James? James Conner.
James Conner
gets the 2-yard run. I haven't seen too much success with like split-esque plays where like the tight end, you know, cuts back.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I hate those runs because it just seems to always not go well.
Yeah.
Which really sucks because in real life, it's actually, you know, in this like Shanahan coaching scheme, it's one of the like main runs that goes down, but in the game it just does not work. And he switched the game.
Kyler Murray finds Zach Ertz on a drag route for 11.
Yeah, this Cardinals offense has a lot of weapons. Obviously, they have DeAndre Hopkins, who arguably should be serving a suspension right now, but we'll talk about that. And then they brought in Marquise Brown in the offseason. They traded their first-round pick for him. We saw Zach Ertz come over last mid-season, and I believe their 3rd wide receiver, I'm not sure who they have out there, probably some combination of Rondale Moore and Andy Isabella, which it's a lot of speed on this offense, especially when you have Kyler Murray at quarterback.
I'm going to head off to James Conner following the holding call in the 2nd and 12. You know, absolutely. Did that DeAndre Hopkins suspension transfer well over here or no? Oh, what am I saying? Someone picked him up, right?
What do you mean?
D-Hop?
Hopkins?
Yeah.
He's still on the Cardinals.
But he's suspended.
But in real life, he's suspended. I don't believe we really went too deep into it. It's the last season type of thing, so it's don't care about it too much.
As Kyler Murray takes a sack to, who I believe to be, is that Samson?
No.
I think Samson got. I don't know. I think he got traded. 3rd and 24. It's looking like maybe HBK sold another game of the week. I don't know.
Yeah. That was an interesting blitz.
As we get a quick snap from the Cardinals, and they, of course, get the first down. They don't. It's 4th and inches.
No, they don't. 4th and inches. Yep.
He's getting a little antsy, 3rd and 24. I'd get a little antsy too. Don't find him, please.
He can legally go for it here, so after the gameplay we've seen, I would expect him to.
I guess TCG maybe DM'd them and said give the ball up because that was definitely illegal. As that punt's going to be pretty well down on at the 3.
I don't agree with fielding that punt.
Yeah, that was
very. Just let that go into. You kind of wanted to let that go into the end zone. I don't know why he waited back down 3 to catch it.
Yeah,
usually you see coaches telling. Yeah, usually you see the coaches telling the return man, if it's anything past the 10 to 15 yard line, you just let it go. But he seemed to
definitely. And I wouldn't want to field the ball right here, anyways. Especially against a user who has the potential to throw us some nano blitzes at me. I feel like I'd be shitting my pants.
Yeah, you're way too close.
And with that being said, a stretch goes absolutely nowhere. Actually, it does go somewhere, and that's 1 yard back, setting Los Angeles Rams up for a 2nd and 11. Thing is, the score may be 7-0. The crowd may be very loud, but this is very manageable. Especially having the offense down at the 2 yard line, this is very manageable. So we're going to see a tight look.
Have 2 very good absolutes.
And he's looking at the drag. He throws the drag anyways.
Is that Allen Robinson? Wow. Forgot that they had signed with the Rams.
Yep. Sorry, I
was
sneeze.
There. He's there to replace Robert Woods, who they let walk, and I believe he signed with the Titans, coming off a torn ACL. So Allen Robinson has not been, I would say, up to par these last couple seasons, what you would expect from him. But he's hoping to, rekindle his career here with the Los Angeles Rams. Maybe take the pressure off of him not having to be that number 1 guy. He's more of a number 2 to Cooper Kupp now.
Of course.
So we'll see how that worked out for him.
It's 3rd and 11. Down at the 2. Matthew Stafford's going to drop back in a tight formation. He has a man over the middle. He throws it, and it's an absolute grab from Justin.
That looks like Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson. Justin Van.
Yeah, Van.
Jesus. I'm seeing that the Cardinals love that cover 3 lock play on 3rd and long, but it's absolutely not working.
Yeah, it's kind of leaving that middle field right in between the deep safety and the middle hook zones. Mm-hmm. It's just leaving that wide open every time.
Cam Akers tries to get something going, but it's about 2 yards. Yeah, cover 3 lock is definitely a very special play. You see somebody in dollar, and that's what you're expecting. There's just a lot of experience with that play, that defense. So I feel like a lot of offenses are able to beat that quite easily. Unless, of course, there are some adjustments made.
Yeah, I mean, if you're expecting it, it's majority of the time you're able to, figure it out and get somebody open over the middle.
Yep. As Matthew Stafford yet another play action, throws the ball to Allen Robinson, who makes a man miss. That Butter Baker spun out of his shoes. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't see Allen Robinson usually being the most, agile guy, but there he was able to make a miss.
Definitely.
Seen a lot of play action out of the Rams offense.
Yeah, no, definitely very cheesy. I mean, he has to respond mutt with mutt. Very respectable. Got to get the win at all costs. It is the final year. He hands the ball to Cam Akers, who's not going anywhere. I think he had a gap in what I believe, if my Pee-wee knowledge serves me correct, the C gap. It's pretty open.
Yeah, so I would consider myself quite the stretch expert. And he definitely had a cutback lane there. And you are right, that is the C gap.
Wow, look
That
at
was a
me.
wide open.
I'm an absolute legend, on-field coach in Pee Wee.
But yeah, the run game is just not working for the Rams. 5 carries for a total of -2 yards.
Yeah, no, they should definitely just stick to the play actions. Do that as often as they can without getting fined. As second and long, play clock's winding down. He takes a snap. He has a man over the middle who really wasn't open. Swatted down by Murphy Jr.
Yeah, that looked, you kind of probably wanted to hit the seams just because they only had one guy covering the middle with 2, seam / flat routes. But he kind of missed the tight end right up the middle early and had to settle for that pass, which did not work.
Those teams definitely scare me in this day and age. I mean, defensive backs are absolutely adjusting to that as Matthew Stafford steps back and gets a blitz, has a man, Cooper Kupp, over the middle, makes a man miss, and he's good for about 30 yards.
Yeah, they tried to send a lot of pressure on the 3rd and long, hoping that he just wouldn't have enough time to get it out, but he did. Cooper Kupp can make any guy miss one-on-one, and he was just wide open over the middle. Gave him a huge gain.
As Cam Akers is still not going to go anywhere.
That makes it -3 yards now.
Yeah.
So, he just keeps going further back and back.
Maybe Matthew Stafford's going to try another play action here. Who knows?
It would actually be illegal to do so on 2nd and 11. So,
oh, wow.
I hope not. Yeah, so second and 11 plus, and then 3rd and 5 plus are not allowed.
3rd and 5 plus, absolutely cranking down on the rules. Love Ella. There's another handoff to Cam Akers. He's actually going to go forward this time for about 3 yards, so he breaks even.
Yeah, he made it back to where he started.
He just ran 7 times. It's not what you like to see out of a great running back out of like Cam Akers.
Yeah, and now you're in a 3rd and long situation, which I mentioned before. It's not very good, but last time they were able to get out of it, so we'll see if they can do that again. I would hope that the Cardinals defense start mixing up a bit. They kind of became a little too predictable in the first quarter, running mostly man coverage and then cover 3 and swapping between the two. Well, anytime you see that, single high safety, you're already thinking cover 3, and then anytime not, you're probably thinking blitz. So hopefully they switch it up and then we can.
I think I'm looking at cover 2, maybe cover 4. Looks like to be a cover 6 as he has a man, Cooper Kupp snags.
Wow. Yeah, so Cooper Kupp's the early MVP of this game, having 2 touchdowns already. It's just tough to cover him, especially in the red zone. He just wiggles through those spaces, and
absolutely, he definitely
that Stafford is looking for him. Yeah, he has some of the best hands in the league. So once it touches, majority of the time you're not getting it out, and Stafford's looking for him. So as a defense, you sort of have to be looking for him too. Keeping 2 to 3 guys on him at any one point.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, though, we can get some points on the board here from the Cardinals so it doesn't turn into an awful game of the week.
It's really looking quite dire as read options. Not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, see, that was an interesting shift from the Rams just because they sent it so far left as the read option was going right, but Kyler Murray just took way too long trying to read what the hell was going on and just stayed in the backfield where he was able to get brought down. Had he taken off very quickly, he could have had a very high game. The blockers were there, the space was there. I could have seen like 20 or 30 yard game.
Throws it, and that's also going backwards. Actually, cuts just negative. 2nd and long, you don't see the defensive backs back, giving us like the receivers too much space. I don't think that's the call.
Yeah. If you see them up pressed against your receivers, you kind of want to use that speed that you have on this offense and just send them over top. Murray has the arm to get it done, but for whatever reason they call it, I believe it was a motion screen play, and it just did not work. Here they go 5 wide.
As he has nothing open, that's going to be a pick.
Yeah. That is David Long Jr., their slot cornerback. Yeah, this is not looking good. I'm not sure why the Rams had a free rusher there, but whatever reason, that guy just came in unblocked. Oh, he just shed the double team. So he just got in there very quickly. I thought it was a free rusher, but he actually got double teamed on that play, surprisingly. So
that's just how scary their pass rushes.
Yeah,
as Cam Akers is going to go forward, he runs into his blocker and gets taken down by Cam Akers, but not before getting the first.
Yeah. You got to sometimes slow down there so you don't run into your own guys.
Yep. This makes me think This makes me think I had somebody like Cam Akers, instead of my current running back who is very slow. As Cam Akers, he's absolutely rocked. Holy shit. He's down second.
Yeah, the Bills running backs are kind of sus. Zach Moss and Devin Singletary.
Yeah, Devin surprisingly puts up yards. I don't know how he does it. He doesn't truck anybody. He doesn't juke anybody. He just gets yards. Absolutely love it. As Matthew Stafford's dropped back, has a flat, which is there but wasn't. Makes a tackle and he's down after getting 8 yards.
Yeah, they seem to have not dropped the guy, but he got.
It's like a contain, right?
He got chipped by the tight end, so he was kind of late into the pass rush. But had he put a hand up, he probably could have knocked that down.
Oh no, 100%.
It just didn't look like he just was not ready for it at all.
Well, looking at this front four, I mean, as Cooper Kupp actually burns his man, Tyler Higbee's gonna go into the blue area, which we call the touchdown. Score is currently
getting out of hand very quickly.
20-0. It's 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. Wow. I have a feeling HBK is going to find some kind of way to blame this on us. But believe it or not, it was actually this person he wanted to cast last week.
Yeah, this is not the type of game we love to cast, just because when it gets to this point, the rest of the game isn't the most exciting to watch. But
at least they could say they made it onto the game of the week.
Yeah.
At HBK, that's what he wanted. But I'm going to use this time. If anyone with the running back above 93 speed wants to make a trade with me, hit me up. I'm all ears.
I don't think there's very many of those.
Not very many of those. They're very precious, but I'm here.
Yeah, I don't even have one.
Not anymore. I'm glad you don't, bro. I watched your game against who was it, Diddy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was disgusting. That was the most boring game I've ever watched in my life. Aside from the absolute luck you were getting, the running was was absolutely awful.
Let's keep it real. The touchdown off the fumble, that's a neutral play. The dude got the fumble, but
as he has a drag, but he drops back 20 yards instead and takes a sack. But I don't know. If that happened to you, that would have pissed you off. You force a fumble and then a receiver picks it up untouched and goes for 6. That'll piss you off. You cannot lie. Everyone will agree. Surprises not highlights you as another quick snap. He has a man, and I think I've come to notice that this user is on par with Mitchie.
That time it was a free rusher. I don't know what Nano was going on there, but the dude just ran right past him. I don't know how that punt was not blocked, but the ball's down at the 45. You said it was a free rusher that play? Yeah, that was a free rusher. So the edge rusher went around the left tackle, and then the linebacker sort of just took his spot, and he was just able to get in there right away, which I don't know what's going on there. This Cardinals offensive line seems to be struggling very much so. On the
hand up to Cam Akers. He cuts back. I think he's taking your advice and goes for 9. That was very impressive.
The first 7 rushes, 0 yards. The last 3, 20. So definitely a different approach to the run game now. That seems to be working out. Still only 2 yards per carry on the day, but if you throw out those first 7 carries, it's not looking too bad.
Yep. As the Cardinals defensive line switches away from the strong side, and they actually run towards that side and get the first down.
Yeah,
that was
a weird run.
That was weird.
You have the left. Yeah, you have you have the numbers to the right and you still go left, but it ended up working out, I guess. So can't say too much about that.
Yeah. This is the battle of the average and who's less average. And as you can tell, it
Yeah, we
was
have a
wrong to
clear
say
winner
that the
so far.
Cardinals were average. As another fake handoff, but he's gonna get
Oh,
sacked.
yeah, that was an insta shed from Adrian Claiborne. Yeah, he's had an up and down career, but finds himself here with the Cardinals and making an impact. Got a good sack that kind of puts him out of field goal range. I'm not sure who their kicker is, but 40-yard line, kind of deep. Ooh, a man coverage look, but Stafford just completely sails that pass over Tyler Higbee's head and then burnt Isaiah Simmons, which is wild because Isaiah Simmons is one of the fastest linebackers in the league. And he played safety in college, which wild as well because he just got burnt by a tight end, which he's probably used to locking up on the daily. But here we are, 13-18 on the 40-yard line. Empty look from the Rams. You have Cooper Kupp in the slot with Allen Robinson lined up to the left. Those are probably the two guys you're looking to here. As he throws an interception to Brian Murphy. Byron or something like that, I don't know. But he takes it down to the 34-yard line. That was a weird pass because, one, you throw it to the two guys or you don't throw it to the two guys who probably you should be. And second off, that was just a horrible pass. Way underneath the guy and fell right into the cornerback's hands. But hopefully that sparks the Cardinals' momentum to allow them to make a comeback here. We're only in the second quarter, but down 21. You need some type of score as A.J. Green's old behind gets stopped. One-on-one, he could not make a move with his arthritis. I'm just kidding, I don't know if he actually has arthritis, but he is pretty old. But, 2nd and 5. This looks to be a run. And he had a hole had he cut back. But he sort of just went straight for it. Got on the first down, which after how bad this offense struggled, you don't hate a first down. Just keeps the drive alive. Now on 1st and 10, this looks to be a man look. No, it is zone. He has the slant coming across. I'm not sure if that would have gotten there, but regardless, it doesn't matter because he got hit as he threw, and that is very much so short as it falls incomplete. He has 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the second quarter on the 47-yard line. And he goes out empty on 2nd and 10. I wouldn't want the Cardinals to score too fast here because I believe they kick off at half as we get another switch, which seems to be a problem.
And I'm back. And did I hear switch?
Yeah, so there's been a couple of them so far. I'm not sure if they've affected the game too bad, but they're happening. You kind of don't want it to become a habit.
No, definitely. At this point, I feel like we're streaming a test game.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way. But 3rd and 1 out of the pistol. 2-minute warning.
This play is very questionable, and I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. The route combinations kind of just aren't very good in Madden as another switch. Yeah, it's starting to become an issue.
Will we see our first user ever kicked from the league midstream? Who knows? As we're going to get Kyler Murray back in the pistol. Looks to me as this is like a cover 4 look, or maybe cover 2. It to be cover 2.
Cover 2.
And the tight end tries to put on a little move in there.
Yeah, anytime you have a cover 2 look, you know that middle linebacker is going to be playing pretty deep, so those the drag routes over the middle have some space to be able to be caught and make some moves. There, he kind of threw a little late to where you're now reaching the vert hook zone. which is a little bit not as deep. So he didn't have any.
As Kyler's going to roll out. Is he going to beat him out for speed? He's not.
Yeah. I don't like the angle he took there.
Okay.
He obviously has more speed, but the angle kind of just, it was in the DN's favor. He kind of just took it way too wide. Had he probably cut up field a little bit sooner, he probably could have beat him out. Or even made a move. You know, Kyler Murray is known for making those moves in the backfield where he can make a guy miss and then cut up field.
Yep.
But he sort of just ran right.
He has a drag where he throws the out route, which is going to be not intercepted.
Yeah, so far he seems to love those outs, comebacks on the boundaries, and they have not worked. Actually, both of his interceptions have came on out routes or comeback routes on those outside boundaries, and that one could have been as well. But luckily, it wasn't, and he has a chance for a field goal. I'm not sure if he's going to kick it or it looks like he's going to kick it.
Yeah, with the...
And will we finally get some points on the board? Yes, it looks like we will.
3-21 is the score. But I was going to say, it gets a very reactive and very veteran and skilled defense like the Rams. I wouldn't really be trusting those routes too much. I thought those routes were very, very niche. And,
I mean, the Rams' strength is those boundaries. They kind of lock those up. I think you'll have much more success in the middle of the field where they're kind of, lacking those linebackers and safeties that, can go demon.
Well, definitely. As we're going to see over-the-top post route from Cooper Kupp for 22 yards.
Yeah, I like that play. It was right in between those hook zones and the deep safety. Like I mentioned before, that's where the Cardinals are kind of attacking this defense. This cover 3 looks that we keep getting from the Cardinals.
They got to take that slot corner out, replace him with somebody because he's not holding Cooper Kupp whatsoever.
Yeah, when you're facing Cooper Kupp, you don't want to leave the middle open. I would probably suggest running some more cover 2 that you get some more depth down the middle because Cooper Kupp's there.
Yep.
But yeah, they just haven't made the adjustment so far.
As with 30 seconds, the Rams have no timeouts. They're back in a gun formation, looking to put up some points. Hopefully, they don't do anything stupid. Make this game closer than it should be. Stafford.
Yeah.
Takes the snap. Throws the flat to Cam Akers again. Gets in the first down and also gets out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't mind their approach here. They're kind of just taking those flat routes and getting out of bounds. Obviously, they don't have any timeouts, but the last thing you want is to make a mistake and give the Cardinals any extra points going into half. You're up 21-3. You get ball at half. I would try to play a little bit more conservative here. You're sort of in that field goal range. I would probably get a little bit more yards and then kick a field goal. I probably wouldn't go for a touchdown here.
Oh, definitely. But as a league office member, he just has the innate need to stat pad us. For some reason, he does not go out of bounds.
Yeah, see, but he does get the spike off, which
will guarantee them 3 points. Yeah,
I wouldn't risk getting any more clock off or any more time off the clock. Sorry.
You're still only up by 3 possessions, which is all the same, but at least that's 3 touchdowns. Even if he were to score 3 unanswered, it'd only be tied. So, as that kick goes out of bounds,
that's not what you want to do. Now you kind of set up a Hail Mary situation.
With Kyler's build, I don't see him getting the ball past the 20-yard line. Just back.
Possible. We just seen a L and another switch. Okay, yeah. It's not looking too good for this season. But as you were saying with the whole Hail Mary, we did see another Hail Mary go down today.
Yep. I was able to witness that. That was absolutely ludicrous.
Not sure why
speak on it too much.
The defense that was played.
I don't remember the defense. What was it?
it seemed like a norm. I'm not sure what coverage, but it was like out of nickel. He wasn't even in 3-man deep.
Wow.
Which, versus a Hail Mary, you don't really want to be in that type of defense. It's just allowed, though. Just the over top is just wide open.
Yeah.
The ball was dropped perfectly.
Probably something along the lines of like maybe a cover 2 man. I mean,
yes, helps a little bit.
And George Kittle just burned everybody. It was crazy.
You'd love to see that.
Because Matthew Stafford's going to make some adjustments at the line. Looks like he was eyeing the mic, which he was. Going to hand it off to Cam Akers, who goes about 2 yards forward.
Yeah, that run game is just not there. Wiz is actually, I would say, probably more known for his run game than passing. So for him to be struggling there and still winning, that's a good sign. His passing has been pretty decent so far. I mean, when you have a guy like Cooper Kupp, it's not the hardest thing in the world to find him open, but he's gotten the ball to him.
You're going to see a tight end attack from the Rams over the middle once again.
Yeah, that was a user error. So, obviously, as I mentioned before, that Tampa 2 is where the middle linebacker plays much
deeper, yeah.
Except he used the linebacker, so he wasn't able to get that depth that the CPU usually is. And once again, that over the middle, it was wide open. You never really want to use that middle guy.
Madden tips with Los.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Makes a guy completely look absolutely stupid.
Yeah, the user is just getting embarrassed so far. I don't know what that was.
Both rule-wise and gameplay-wise.
Yeah, it looked like at first he was ready for the move, and then he went to attack, and then actually got hit with the move. So, that's not good. You never want to be found looking silly.
If anything, guys, just click off. If anything, just click off. Let the computer do it for you.
Yeah, click off. Click off is definitely the move. At that time, he made the adjustment to using the other linebacker in that situation. So, obviously, it didn't matter. It was one play, but as well to flag. But you love to see the quick adjustments in game.
Yep.
I believe that's already the second holding call on the Rams so far, which
it felt like it's like a third, but it's definitely been happening. It's definitely been happening.
Yeah. Definitely got some undisciplined guys on that line. I'm not sure if it's the same dude, but you never want to see that from anybody. I don't believe I've seen a single other call like penalty. Penalties have been pretty rare, I feel like.
I'm happy. Don't change that. I'm actually chilling. As he dumps it off to Cam Akers with a low pass.
I want to say that was a base defense by the Cardinals against a 3 wide receiver look on a 1st and 19. Not sure what that was.
It definitely was a base defense. Yet somehow the linebackers played their assignments well enough. As I think we're going to see another.
No, this
is a nickel. Okay, I had to count up.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford drops back. He has a man. Not that man. Allen Robinson does not come down with that catch, unfortunately, as it was thrown into double coverage. I feel like he had the drag off to the right.
Yeah, it was not center. It was a zone blitz. So he was only dropping about 6 guys in the coverage. And that middle of the field, once again, was just wide open. So he had the drag for sure, but it kind of seemed like he wanted to hit that over the middle route that he's been so successful with so far. It just didn't work this time.
One thing I'm noticing with the Cardinals is that their third and long defense is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's getting diced up. I don't know what they're doing, but they get them into those 3rd and 10 plus multiple times, and each time the Rams have just been able to convert. It's not what you want to see from your defense.
Cam Akers is still not going anywhere.
Pretty much like the opposite of a bend but don't break, because they're not bending, but they just straight break at the end.
Absolutely ridiculous. As I had to catch myself reaching for my phone out of the pure boredom. We're going to see Stafford. And this is what, single back trips? He's going to hand the ball off.
Not a very common formation. I'm not sure which playbooks they're in, but I've seen it a couple times. It's an interesting formation. I don't know if I would personally run it very often, but
Yep.
I've seen some guys have success with it.
I
If you can
mean,
get that stretch run on
oh
the strong
yeah,
side, I can hit. I mean, either side, to be honest, because if the other side is overloaded,
go right.
I mean,
Definitely.
yeah.
So we're gonna see what looks to be cover 6. He doesn't guard his zone assignment. He leaves the man wide open.
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Yeah, see, so he was actually allowed to run with that route if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He didn't for whatever reason, and I'm not sure why.
No, here in a little bit, I think my Wi-Fi might go out. I don't know. I think it's raining a little hard over here. I have to cut the stream short.
At this point, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing. This is completely gotten out of hand. 31-3.
But I've seen crazier things happen. I have not, actually. I'm lying, but I'm just saying that of pure optimism.
I don't know what the craziest comeback I've seen in this league, but I don't think I've ever seen one of this magnitude.
That's an interception. That's a go for 6.
Yeah.
That was a terrible cut from the defensive back, but interception takes him down the 13-yard line. I mean,
yeah, like I said, those out routes, he just seems to love them, but they're getting completely bagged.
It's just the route combination there. I mean, a drag and then an out route, it's just not going to work well because there's a defensive back who can actually play both those routes at the same time very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he kind of seemed to be in like a loud drop.
Play action as the linebacker was absolutely lost.
Got turned around and then mossed. And that was Isaiah Simmons.
That was Isaiah Simmons.
90-plus speed guy. Just hasn't really lived up to the hype coming out of college.
You know, it might be the coaching, but I mean, it could be also a personal thing with him. Let's see, Matthew Stafford actually take a draw and.
Whoa. What the hell? I think that worked because nobody, and I mean nobody, was expecting that to happen.
Wow. That was.
I'm not saying.
And he missed the field.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. I mean, it actually doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
Yeah.
Also, everyone, I hope you, if anyone is still watching, which I incredibly doubt, please support the movement in general. We're adding HBK, but we're adding on a little bit of flair. Go ahead and support that movement, as we're going to see. Hopefully the Cardinals can put their little legs into that blue little area down the other side of the field.
Yeah, they seem to really love starting the drives on the pistol and this read option look. Has it worked so far? Not really. There, they got 3 yards, which you can never complain about 3 yards.
Absolutely not.
That's sort of the sweet spot.
I thought this Cardinals user just has the jitters. You know, he's getting called out for a lot of illegal things. He's on his first game of the week. Maybe he's just a little nervous.
I believe it's only his second game as well that he actually played. So.
Wow. Supposed to drag a little bit late, but this is first down. Yeah, no, this is I didn't actually notice this was like his first or so game. HBK had mentioned that he wanted him up for a game of the week with Thunder.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. We'll get him on this week. And that was a mistake.
Yeah, it probably shouldn't have been the move so early on into his career, his Madden simulation career.
Just a young coach, you know. As he finds the right read here, gets a drop off down, and gets about 7 yards.
Yeah, I mean, other than 3 interceptions, Murray hasn't been too bad. 9 for 14. 3 of those obviously being interceptions, so you take that away, it's 9-11 for about 100-ish yards. So, just stop throwing those out routes, and you should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably keep some jobs alive.
I was going to see not a play action. I thought it was a play action as he breaks off the blocker. Makes the man miss. Get off me for about 10 yards.
You have the power O run, which James Conner probably excels in.
Oh yeah.
Pulled the guard over, kind of just left that gap wide open for him to run through, and he bounced off a guy and was able to get the first down. Which, I mean, if you can get this run game going, I know it's late, but well, I'm never going to say you're going to come back from this, but you could probably bring this into a respectable range.
Make your fans go home happy as he has a man. I am surprised he got his feet down because he threw that 10 years late. Oh, brother.
Possession caught. He switched.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. That's why.
I didn't even notice.
Wow, you could probably get cheesed and would not know.
Honestly, I'm like looking at Discord more than I'm looking at the game. I was gonna say I've never seen the AI do that, but I guess there's a reason why. As he doesn't do the play action, he has a man square.
That was completely covered, but luckily the two defenders ran into each other. Didn't allow either one of them to come down with it.
I am utterly disappointed, and but I don't know what to say. 2nd and 10. That's the right read. Holy hell, he got popped.
Another switch.
Wow. I feel like I'm not even like watching the game at this point. I'm watching the game, but I'm not even like thinking about the switches. I'm just assuming that we're all on the same page here.
Yeah. Majority of the time you can just be in that mode. I think now it's just.
Yeah. So what would we be like looking at with 10 offenses of switching, 3 offenses of quick snapping? I've seen users get banned for less.
I mean, the thing is,
he throws right at the user.
He seems to be cooperative with it, and he's trying to do better. It's just, there's only so many times you can tell somebody something without actually working on it. He says he's going to work on it, but we're still seeing it.
I think for the sake of keeping this fan base happy. Holy hell! His right guard got rocked. He make a man miss, and he's sad. Oh, he got it off.
Oh, he got it off.
Wow, that was probably the most impressive play from the Cardinals. They didn't even go anywhere. Yeah, I think for the sake of the morale of the people, we should keep him and give him one more week. If he doesn't, clean up at least to maybe one switch, then get his ass out of here. But I didn't say that. That wasn't Nug. That was Los. As he throws right at the user, it's going to be intercepted. And he takes a knee just instantly. That was just the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life. $37-3. I think I'm about to go to Texas Roadhouse a little bit early.
This guy wide open. Yeah, I don't love the blitz and glitz that we're getting from the Cardinals. It's kind of you have so many guys on this Rams offense who can make their one guy miss, and it's happening every time.
As I am honestly quite surprised at this. Keep in mind, league office member does not have this on true clock at this point.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. He could have been chewing for
a while. For a while.
For a long time now. But he's not up to this point. Hopefully we can get a chew going on in this fourth. We can get out of here.
I just had to go ahead and shout out the Rams' hot personal staff just to make sure she gave the message to the coach to chew the clock. Let things die out. Let your fans go home happy. You don't want any injuries running into you. I said still chew, but
looks like we're getting it now, so hopefully.
Yeah. As surprised a lot of the starters are still in. I'd be scared shitless. I don't know if league office has lowered down the injuries, but I've been getting kind of lucky. I want to say, knock on wood, but I'd be very scared of injury right about now.
Yeah, I mean, 37-3, you kind of don't want to injure a guy. I would probably. It's hard to say. It is a divisional game, so you kind of want to. I mean, there's no beef between these users, I don't think.
But yeah, no, I don't think so.
So I would expect him to, trying to protect his plays, but especially the way these Cardinals defenders are still playing very aggressive. They're hitting the guys, they're coming after every single player.
Every snap are coming at him.
Yeah, and this is obviously not even an important game at this point, so you kind of want to save your players for those games, but they're going to leave them in. They're going to let them do what they got to do.
Absolute smackdown from the Rams. This is all things considering, considering even who he played against. I feel like this is a solid performance. I feel like this coach really, when he sees he's going up a good user, he likes to overcomplicate things instead of playing his own game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that really fucks him up. He tries to get into this mojo, like the candles. I mean, I feel like that's I thought it was not at the one. I feel like that's a little bit too much. Just go into how you would go into any game, and I feel like he'd come out, as good as he was here. Minimal mistakes, one interception, which could have very well been avoided, but it was a great showing.
Yeah,
oh, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
He seemed to be passing the ball a lot better than what I've normally seen from him.
Yeah, definitely.
Found his open guys. He was able to run off of that pretty weak run into serviceable play action.
Yep.
You can determine how cheese that is on your own, but
yeah, no, definitely.
It's worked out so far.
So we're gonna see a pause.
I think this is where we see them being taken out. It looks to be a pause by the Rams, so I'm guessing that's what this is.
Absolutely.
But with this break, I guess we can talk a little bit about the power rankings that was released.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely shocking, if you will.
A few days ago, I believe, yeah. So we've seen a lot of movement this week, which going into it, I didn't really expect, but then as I was making my own list, I realized that, our first list that we put out was sort of just like a preseason thing, kind of what we already know about these users and what their team was kind of projecting to be. But we actually got a lot of surprises. I guess we could kind of talk about those. I would say Sam, one of the big surprises, he obviously won our first game of the week and has played pretty well so far. He's now 2-1. Shadow, those first 2 weeks was on fire. He wasn't the best in week 3 where he almost lost to Fender, but Fender decided to celebrate on a 75-yard touchdown. Well, would have been a touchdown, but
yep.
Yeah, fumbled the game away. So he moved on to 3-0. Some other users we seen. DS obviously was the user who beat Wiz, our current game of the week guy, in week 1. Some of the disappointments. Nug fell quite a bit.
I fell 1.
Yeah. Well, for me, on my list, he fell quite a bit.
Oh, I mean, I lost to the current number 2. So to defend my honor, I feel like that being at 14 is a little harsh. But can't win them all. It was a close game for the most part.
Yeah. So then obviously Cardinals was a big drop. That was mainly because of a switch of users. We went from Milky to a new guy, so that's just bound to happen. It's
going to go down even more after in our next power ranking.
Yeah, what I'm seeing here might be a little bit more of a drop. I haven't been about the middle of the tech team, probably more down into the low 20s, I would say, from this performance at least. But yeah, who would you say is your biggest surprise?
Big loser. It's hard to not mention D the D. I mean, he does say that he's not trying because it's the last season, but why would you go into a game that you have to waste an hour of your time and just dicking around? I don't know. Kingle.
Yeah.
I didn't expect much from him, but I expected him to be at least average. He's been at least shit, to say the least, as the Cardinals fumble. Thankfully, he goes out of bounds. Other than that, it's just about what I expected. I feel like seeing Shadow in the top 10 is insane. I put him
Yeah, it's
7.
weird.
Uh,
Oh wow.
I mean,
I didn't know
you
that
know,
high.
just record. I didn't want to disrespect him because he was at the time 3-0. There was no point in putting a
Yep.
2-1 team over him when he had beat good users.
Yep.
But seeing him over people like Matt, TCG, Screw DS is very unlikely. You know,
Weird.
he could battle with DS. I could see that. He can battle with Screw, but in terms of Matt, TCG, I just can't see it. You know.
Yeah. It was definitely weird seeing him that high, but he's played well. You can't obviously you have
Yep.
to give him his respects, which is
Definitely.
what happened. I had him at 11, so it wasn't as high as you. I still had a couple 2-1 teams over him.
As the Cardinals
Solely because of where
score a touchdown. Awesome.
finally a touchdown. AJ Green, big body guy. Obviously, you
On
like
the
to have him in
slant.
the red zone.
Yep.
Yep. Can kind of just box out his guy and get the ball in.
But another surprise for me was Chief.
Yes.
I had him 6. You had him 12, and HBK
Lower.
had him 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot who he beat. I think he beat somebody who was good. That was crazy.
He beat Adam. I believe he beat Adam, and then his week 1 opponent. I can look.
I feel like he beat and he hung tight with HBK. I think this after this power ranking came out, and he's now 2-1. But yeah, he was a big surprise. But I think we're gonna continue to see this power ranking just shift. I mean,
yeah. So I think the early weeks it's definitely gonna be a lot more movement than as we get through the season. I think there'll be a little bit less, and then from there, you'll kind of get an idea of where we kind of have our guys. So Chief beat Adam week 1, the Browns user, 31-10, and then he ended up beating Kingle 34-21. Those were his first 2 weeks.
gotcha. And week 3 was that when he lost to HBK or?
Yeah, he lost 24-21. So kept it close, which is respectable.
Valid. I don't expect to see him in the top 10 this next power ranking. But
I already had him lower, so he'll probably be somewhere around there.
yeah, absolutely valid. But I feel like our top 5 is looking good. Rios, I believe, did he lose to Shadow on the Bengals? Or was that his other team?
It was the Cardinals, I believe.
Cardinals.
He was
lost.
Yeah, he was using the Cardinals when he lost them, so can't really obviously he's not using them anymore, so that's kind of like a weird thing that you kind of have to take into account, but
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
But I feel like for the most part, the top 16 or so are all going to be the same names, just interchanged quite heavily. Outside of the 16,
you're looking
at
a couple guys. You're looking at the names, and they don't really stand out to being. I mean, there's some guys, but then there's also like kind of some inconsistency there. You have like Wiz, who obviously we see here, dominating, but I'm not sure, if he can keep that up. We've seen him have highs, we've seen him have lows. We see a guy like Nero, who, he's beating some good users. He's also been a little bit inconsistent. Obviously, DFAD we have, or Diva D, whatever you want to go by. He's taken his road of not trying, I guess. And then Kingle's another guy you kind of have that inconsistency from. But yeah, I mean, this whole, 20-ish range. Well, actually, yeah, I guess he's still under, 16, 17, which is obviously Diddy both.
Yeah, Diddy
I don't
twice.
see any of those guys. I don't see those guys really making too much noise.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see. The season's gonna be honestly very competitive, I think.
Yeah, so far it's been really competitive. I believe we still have a couple undefeated teams, but obviously we're only in week 4. I don't think we see a repeat of last year or last year's where Instant went undefeated. I think we go back to the.
He should have lost to HBK.
Yeah, he should have lost HBK, but HBK is a blind weirdo.
He's actually colorblind, guys, so don't bully him on that. He'll cry.
Yeah, he got the buttons mixed up. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. He passed the ball very quickly when he had so much time to, take a look,
take
see what was
take a
which.
gander.
Yeah, but he didn't want to. He kind of just wanted to get the ball out. Which, I mean, had he be instant, you can make the argument for him to be number one in what was, I believe they played before this came out, right? Yeah, week 3.
Yep.
So had he be instant, he probably would have been the number one team on this list.
Very
But
possible. Very possible.
yeah, he was
But
unable to get it done.
the top
And now
top
he sits
10
at
is
6.
just filled with mutt. Top 5 definitely. Top 5 is definitely a lot of mutt.
Shit.
I don't want to speak onto the Dolphins too much. It was some mutt. I've seen a little bit from the Broncos. Seen a lot of bit from the Bengals. But with that aside, guys, the game is fucking finally over. Let's just get out of here. It's been Los. It's been Nug.
Well, yeah, it's been weird.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sticking around and watching.
Hopefully, we'll have something better for you next week. Maybe HBK will be on. He won't. He'll just tell us what's a cast, and it's gonna be a shit show. So, until next time, everybody.
Maybe.